Guys, beer, sports. Join Sean and Brad as they talk about sports and share a beer. From the east coast of Canada to the west coast of the United States. Over to you, boys.
Everybody, what's happening? Sean and Brad, GuysBeerSports, back again. Somewhere in season 2, it's draft weekend. We're having a good time. We're kind of just messing around, getting to it. A little later in the show, we're going to have Ian on. Ian's one of Sean's former bandmates. And so you heard that correctly, band. Sean was in band. He went to band camp. Not sure if Ian did, but we can get to that later. Sean played the drums. He didn't play the flute, so it's okay.
Or the organ. Thank you. Listen. I think people missed you last week, man. People missed you. You were helping. I mentioned you were helping a friend. It must have been a good friend move across state lines.
I was moving somebody. Yeah, it's a nice. You know, you got to really care about someone to drive a U-Haul 12 hours away from your house. Absolutely.
And then Reed mentioned that it was because of the conversation we're going to have about hockey. That's why you kind of just
I probably wouldn't have done it if it was football season, but
it's like but we're both convinced.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Friends that I moved that will remain nameless. I'm just. Hey, listen.
Kidding. I am certain that once the Kraken are in full effect, you're going to be all in hockey.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you're going to be all in. All of a sudden,
once I'm in, where they're not doing this stupid, country by country division, I'd even be more in. I can't do it, man. It's too many.
I've been loving it, man.
Too many same games. Yeah, because it makes your one team better. Did you see that little thing I sent you earlier that you decided to not react to?
Yeah, I'm not reacting to anything negative about the Leafs.
Shout out to the Leafs securing their first round playoff exit this year. It's good. I thought it was clever. You think it was?
It was clever. It was. I'm just like completely putting that out because it's happened a lot there, Brad.
I know. Listen, shout out to my cousin DJ Russell. DJ Good Times. Russell with the Heat. That's what we know we should do soon. This is what I'll work on. Is I have 2 cousins who are also Canadian, and I think that they would just dump on you, so you can't say it's an American thing. But that's beside the point. My cousin Mitchie is a giant UFC fan.
Yeah,
and then Russell, who's also a DJ, has a lot of good fun stories.
Yeah,
he's a giant hockey fan and UFC fan. So maybe we'll bring the brothers.
That'd be awesome, man.
On. We'll see how it goes.
Oh yeah. Group. That'd be this week there. The GuysBeerSports Facebook group. I knew you were taking a sabbatical from the internet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I put in something a little risque, although I thought funny. That thing there with the state restaurant there.
Yeah, I have to tell you that I saw it this morning.
You saw it this morning?
Yeah, I got on this morning just to see what was going on in the world, and I saw it and I thought, here's what I thought. I didn't know if it was intentional or not.
What, by the restaurant?
Yes.
I have no idea, because here's what the funny thing is. It's
funnier if they don't know.
Well, this is the thing, is that I thought to myself, this is very obvious. This is a very obvious thing, okay?
Yeah.
And I showed it to Joanna, and she goes, "What's so funny about that?"
See,
Brad.
I'd never show those kinds of things to my wife because I don't want to explain it.
I know. I had to explain it. I'm just like, it's like, and I feel like a
man loves a woman a lot.
Like I felt. So the thing said, the sign said, "Moms get free cream pies." And so Joanna goes, what does that mean? And I'm like, I feel like some dirty, disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, it's coconut cream or it's banana cream.
Listen, it's not the first time she's done this to me, Brad. I think I told you about the time in Vancouver. We were walking around. She goes, "That's a skunk really close by." I go, "Yeah, babe. Those are urban skunks." Vancouver.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's where I got my Saskatchewan Roughriders shirt from. It was from the family back there. So
Look
I'll
at
see
that.
see if they want to
Brad.
come on and debates the merits of CFL versus NFL.
Well, I mean, there are some, but
There's none. There's none.
There are some.
The only reason to watch
How
a
dare
CFL
you.
game is because the NFL game's not on.
Yeah, I know, man. You and Reed, I'll never forget when he's watched his first CFL game, and I told him about Warren Moon coming from there, even Cameron Wake coming from there, and he goes, "Listen, Jay-Z used to deal cocaine, but nobody reminds him of that past, And I'm like, come on, man, that's harsh. That's harsh.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
So, dude, draft happened.
Yeah.
Were you shocked at the number 3 pick?
Yeah, I don't know what San Francisco was doing with Trey Lance. They must, I mean, Kyle Shanahan's the smartest person he ever met. Just ask his father because he feels the same way. So,
didn't Trey Lance opt out?
No,
last season?
Played. He just plays for an FBS school. That's just the thing. Like
North Dakota State. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know that he's ever. But the thing is that he probably could have played D1 football, just not as quarterback. He got 0 offers to play quarterback at a Power 5 school.
But that's the number 3 pick.
They think they got him.
Mac Jones dropped the 15. New England. Just thank you.
Listen, Bill Belichick just loves chubby quarterbacks. That's just the thing.
Man,
and this morning he's already on Mac. He already said that Cam's their starter. So
I know. I heard that.
I think they probably didn't think that he was going to be there.
No. I mean, Justin Fields dropping to 11.
Fell in their lap. The Bears were advantageous and jumped in to grab Justin Fields.
Smart.
That's the best fit for that offense, right?
That is like the best move I've seen the Bears do since Urlacher, as far as draft picks.
With that backfield that they have, that the Bears have, I think they'll be.
And they have a good wide receiver core too.
Well, then that remains to be seen. But
yeah,
good question, John. Good work.
I was taking a crap and I was there.
That's where I think of most of my things. What can I like? Oh, I should ask Sean. Good TV,
man. All right,
good TV.
I wanted to point out something here. So the Bengals end up going after Jamar Chase, wide receiver, and they leave Penei Sewell off. And after Joey Burrow's getting injured, why would you not go for?
Well, they signed some free agents there. I feel like they think they had some injuries last year that led to that, and so
true enough.
Why not get the guy some weapons? You're losing AJ Green, right? I mean, that's get him some chemistry. I mean, I think it's a lot of the same that we saw with Jacksonville taking Travis Etienne. I think having a young quarterback that has a familiar, you can't make that happen. I mean, it worked out really well for Deshaun Watson and with Hopkins. And they weren't necessarily teammates, but they played together in the summertime and worked out together. And so that familiarity, I think, really matters. I think that's where they're catching it up now. Is
he's a stud.
4 or 5 years with a quarterback, right? You better start him off and get him some weapons early because
right away
that's how you're going to win.
Etienne he's a stud too, and just to be able to play with Trevor Lawrence, I think it's going to give him some familiarity, like you said. Talk about being they're going to go. It's going to be a transformation there this season in Jacksonville for sure. I think it's not going to be the same old Jacksonville.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how much Urban can change the culture. That's the thing, right? Can Urban Myers change that culture? Probably, right? I mean, I think so.
Out. If there's anybody that can, I mean, I'd say it would be.
Urban it was Myers. Interesting last night to hear them say that Shaquille Griffin, who came from Seattle, was one of the higher corners for us. He said Urban Meyer is the first coach that's ever he felt like was trying to get to know him. That's a big deal because he's had some good coaches, real personal coaches, and especially Pete Carroll. You know, it's not a knock on Pete at all, but it's super interesting to hear them say that Urban Meyer is a cut above even the rah that Pete Carroll is. So. Be interested to see if it matters. You know what? One thing that stood out that I read this morning was, and I feel dirty saying this because it's starting to turn my feelings about this particular coach. But Alabama has 31 first rounders in the last 10 years. And second place, I want to say, is like Ohio State at 18.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Saban is a genius.
He is.
And I feel dirty.
They've been saying it's so funny because if you go back to 1990 through to 2000, they had nothing, Alabama.
Yeah. Listen to this. Alabama has 32 first-round picks in the past 10 years. Ohio State has 18. LSU has 15. Clemson has 14. Florida has 12. Georgia has 11, right? And those are the 5 schools that are always in contention for the playoff, right? Those are always in the championship contenders. But you're talking about Florida and Georgia are averaging just a little over 1 first-round pick a year. Alabama is averaging 3 first-round picks a year. That's insane. And
it's insane. It's
insane.
insane.
The Miami Dolphins with the most 6 first-round picks in a draft with 6 last night.
Isn't that crazy?
Insane.
Yeah. They went after even Miami going after a wide receiver right away there as well.
That's the same thing though, right? They got Jalen Waddle, and Jalen Waddle probably wins the Heisman if he doesn't blow his ankle up.
I agree.
Taking away nothing from Devontae Smith, right?
Yeah.
And, going and that's the thing too. How about Dallas trading out of that pick and giving it to the Eagles, and the Eagles get better? I hope Devontae Smith destroys the Cowboys for the next 10 years. Every time he plays them, he has 200 yards.
Well, who did they get last year, Dallas?
Well, they don't need a receiver, but you can't help out your division guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah,
they've got enough receivers. They didn't need Devontae Smith, but they should not have helped.
Yeah.
The Eagles get Devontae Smith. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Denver or that Dallas needed him. I'm just saying they shouldn't have helped the Eagles get him.
Well, Jalen Hurts now all of a sudden is another weapon. So
again, it's a former teammate.
That's it.
Like that's the theme of this first round.
That's exactly it.
Quarterbacks, except for Zach Wilson and Trey Lance, Trey Lance doesn't have any teammates get drafted. I don't know about Zach Wilson either.
Man,
but they're all getting familiar people to play with them in the backfield. It's very fascinating to me.
And were you surprised that Aaron Rodgers didn't go anywhere?
No.
Yeah, that's a lot
he's
of money.
Going to withhold his on-field services.
Yeah,
they're not trading him.
Yeah,
there's no feeling quite like having a freshly shaved fucking pair of boys.
Let me tell you, when you wake up first thing in the morning, do you not like the smell of swass on your balls?
Yeah. Listen. You feel better about yourself all the way around if you just jump out of the shower and you're fresh to your room. Like you want to tell you about shit.
Just talcum powder and go.
Yeah, because you're already smooth. Smooth as eggs, son.
If you need to, put some Brew 33 down there.
You know how bad that would just not be great?
No, that would stink.
Oh, man. Make a man out of you. Had some Old Spice in your nutsack. Buddy. Spicy nuts. It would probably give you some kind of PTSD, and probably you'd get a whiff of it later today. It'd make you twitch, So
I got some strange people in my family, man, and I'll never forget this. When I was 17, one of my cousins decided he wanted to try it. He wanted to get away from shaving, so he put Nair on his face.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
It was a chemical burn, dude.
Yeah. I know somebody who put Nair in their roommate's hair bottle, little shampoo bottle.
Oh, not at all.
It did not go well.
Were they friends after?
No, I think they're probably not friends now. It's 25 years ago.
That's harsh, man. That's harsh.
Yeah, I have a buddy of mine who was on his way. He was on his way to see somebody, and realized that he was flying to see somebody. He was meeting up with somebody at a tropical location, and realized that he had not properly groomed himself for said vacation. And so he got his electric razor out of his travel bag, out of his carry-on, and jumped in the bathroom of the airplane and tried to groom himself.
Well, like a Phillips?
Yeah,
the
like your
Phillips
Phillips and Rocco. Yeah,
with the
Yep.
the circular ones.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was, but it had the beard trimmer, and he was trying to like cut down with that, and then they
The
hit some
beard trimmer.
turbulence. Yeah,
You're
like
talking
they
about
had
that
like
thing that you click. Yeah.
he clicked. He was trying to like trim with that. They hit some turbulence, and that thing cuts the shit out of you. Apparently,
Well, that and wouldn't he be afraid of Turkish delight, man?
apparently not.
I don't know, man. If you get a little
Learned a rough
swass.
lesson.
Have you ever? I mean, have you been in the bush? Have you been anywhere like that?
No pun intended.
Yeah. You been in the bush and you're sweaty? You're trying to trim down there? You're probably getting some Turkish delight coming out, too.
Yeah. I don't know.
Just roll that up. You just
Yep.
serve it to your kids.
Yep.
All right. I want to switch gears on you.
Yeah.
I want to switch gears on you.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm
So-
watching the draft while you're talking. So
All right. So
I'm watching the video at home. That's what I'm looking at.
so I'm gonna go to a couple of sports there. So let's jump over to NHL hockey.
Okay, well, real quick, I just want to speed past the fact that you didn't talk about your team's draft at all. Either one of them.
Buffalo?
NHL hockey.
Either one. We picked up a defensive end there. Buffalo did, so we did all right there. We picked up somebody for our defense. Why not?
Where did he go to school?
He went to.
Oh, look at it. I know the answer to this. I want to
Miami.
know. Yeah, you had to look at it though.
It was right there in front of me.
How many sacks did he have last year?
All right. See, now that no, I don't know.
He didn't have any because he opted out.
There you go. Look at that. Wow, Brad just throwing me to the bridge. We're just gonna edit that out. Thanks,
Back-
Brad.
Back to NHL hockey.
Listen, okay. So we had a conversation with Anton Manson, talking about fights. There's a code. There's a code to fights, right? There's a code that happens in fights. Now the thing is that a week before, so Vancouver and Toronto played again there, right? Like they played 9 times this season coming up at the end of it. But Vancouver and Toronto met last week, and Edler stuck out his knee, smacked up Zach Hyman from the Leafs, knee-to-knee hit, taking Zach Hyman out there. So
Hyman's got to be tougher than that. That's all.
Vicious, nasty hit. So I don't know if you saw last night, but Wade Simmons, this is 250-pound Wade Simmons, been in 71 fights. Wade Simmons goes up to Mr. Edler and says, "You are going to take your licks now," and just beats him. Beats him like the government mule that he is. Because he said, "You have to learn your lesson for that hit," right? And then some sports writer, Ian McClay, I don't know, some Vancouver crybaby there, he ends up talking about that there's a code that Edler's never fought in a fight and Simmons has fought in 71 fights. Why would you start this fight with him? Well, it's because he did a dirty hit. And you go and you
Did
protect.
he get suspended for the hit?
He got suspended for 2 games.
Okay.
Yes. But you still have to answer.
In the wallet. He got punched in the wallet.
He got punched in the wallet, but he also got a good lesson from
He
Mr.
lost
Simmons.
$10.
And he got a good lesson from Mr. Simmons there last night.
Yeah, as he should have.
Thank you.
The code was out the window. Whatever.
That is the code. You pick up your boy
Yeah, well,
can't go out there and
saying
fight.
the Vancouver guy doesn't know the code. Like that's the code. The code is you get dealt with.
You get dealt with.
Everyone
Dealt
knows
with
that's how it
quick.
works. Yeah.
Now, 94 mile per hour.
I would support
fastball.
that guy getting beat on the beach somewhere in the off season if it
love
came
it.
to that. Like,
I love it.
can't do it.
So, Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper takes a 94 mile per hour fastball to the face, right?
Yep.
And then later on in that game, wasn't there some retribution from the pitcher throwing it on to, I forget who it was there from St. Louis there, but he ended up hitting him in the back with like a 90 mile per hour fastball.
I didn't see the retribution.
No. And so basically there's a code there as well. It's like, if you're going after our top guy, we're going to go after your top guy.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, right? I don't know. I have a hard time with that. I think it's hard. I don't know. I think you can tell when someone's throwing at someone versus when the ball doesn't comes out of his face. And I don't think anyone was. Here's the thing. If he was really throwing at Bryce Harper's face, someone should have charged him and beat his ass on the mound.
Oh, I agree with you.
If you're throwing at someone's head, you beat their ass.
That's why hockey's so wicked.
Yes, but you don't hit someone in the back a couple innings. Like that's whatever. Whatever. So dumb.
Okay.
Listen, that's like if I insult your mom and then you spit in the general direction of my car as you're walking past it later.
No, that works out. I don't know. It works
It doesn't
out in my
work out.
mind.
You don't
It
even
works out in
defend
my
your mom's
mind.
honor. You don't even defend your mom's honor. It's terrible. If someone says something dirty about your mom, and then you just let it go, and then like 3 days later, you're walking by the parking lot and you spit in the general direction.
No,
of the
that's
car. Not even on the car.
I feel what
You're
you're
not
saying.
even spitting on the car. You're spitting in the direction of the car.
Oh, that's
what that is. It's silly.
That's not even
It's
passive aggressive. That is
Did I mean
silly.
to do that? Did I mean to? No, it's stupid. Stupid.
What the heck? What kind of retribution is that? I just spat in the sidewalk beside your
it's the
car.
same as throwing and hitting someone in the back when they blast the guy in the face. I'd be embarrassed.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. I like that. That's not even a code. All right. That leads me to this. This is the wife question of the week. Our wife question of the week.
Let's hear it.
So, Joanna asked me today, who do you think out of the four major sports are the least in shape athletes?
Man, it's a tough one.
Four major North American sports.
Least in shape?
Least in shape.
Man, it has to be baseball players. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said too. It's baseball players.
But it's
all
based
day.
on position, right? Like, you can't be really an out-of-shape outfielder. You can't play there anymore.
Yeah. But you
know what I mean?
You could be an out of shape first baseman.
Yes, 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to talk about a relief pitcher is largely out of shape, I feel like, in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? The DH
we have to work 2-3 innings.
The first baseman is out of shape.
The DH could be out of shape.
Yeah, sometimes the catcher. I feel like you're not playing. If you're in the outfield, though, you're probably like in decent shape, right?
I don't know. I think you could play left field.
Not left field. You could play right field.
Right field, yeah.
Left field. Left field. Yeah. You're working a little bit too much.
Working a little bit too much. Right field, then, yeah. Center field is like you're all over the place.
Yes.
You gotta be strong in center.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that too.
I think the middle of the field is 100% where, second, short, and center field. Those boys are usually in shape.
Oh my gosh, too funny. I don't know,
but
man.
I think there's positions for each. That is right. Like,
yeah.
I think like punters and kickers in football generally don't have to be in good shape.
Yeah.
The long snapper for football is not typically in good shape. In basketball, you can get away with being a fat ass and be a center for sure. Or Kyle Lowry.
Yo, Kyle Lowry's been looking good lately. What are you talking about, man? I remember when
Kyle Lowry is in shape. That's for sure.
Man, you knew he was eating Philly steak sandwiches when he was coming in off the offseason. It's like I had a few of those.
Yep. Kyle's missed me meals. And I feel like, I think that's true. And then in hockey, I think the goalies typically could be the fat asses.
No way, man. Are you high?
Maybe.
No, man. No. The goaltender's got to be... There's no out-of-shape hockey player. Like, not one. Except for Phil Kessel. Phil Kessel looks like he wolfed down a few cheeseburgers.
And what position did he play?
Right wing.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's not prototypical. Like, he is definitely like... like somebody looks like he could drink a six-pack.
Hockey's like soccer, right? Like, those guys are all relatively in good shape.
Yeah.
Football. I would say, in football, I mean, you gotta be pretty gassed up. Mostly, even the defensive linemen can't run. I think it's probably hockey, football, basketball, baseball in order of most conditioned to not.
Yeah. Hey guys, we're back here, Guys Beer Sports. I am so happy and so privileged to be having my really good friend over here, Ian Dudgeon. Ian, thank you so much for spending some of your time coming on here. I know you're a busy man.
No problem, Sean. Thanks for having me.
Oh, are you kidding, man? So Ian, both of us had these lofty dreams of becoming rock stars back in our 20s.
Yes. Yeah.
And since then, I'd say, I mean, life's been good. I cannot say that it hasn't, but it didn't pan out that way.
No, it sure didn't. We're like the Bryan Adams song "Summer of '69." You know, everyone went off and did other things, but we had fun at the time, right?
Well,
Although
we
it
had
wasn't
total
69.
fun.
But,
Here, let me
it was,
let,
it was
let me
a ride.
prove. Let me prove how much fun we had here. Just give
Oh,
me
boy.
a second here. Yeah. Oh my. Yeah, I managed to find this here on Facebook. I was pretty happy about it. All right, here we go. I'm going to share right here. Just give me a second here. There we go. Okay. And there we go. Come on.
Oh, jeez.
Come on. Tell me that is not awesome. Oh my goodness. Look at Sean over here.
I know, the flying monkey. That was like the most exciting he ever got. What would that been? 90, was it 97?
96, either late 96 or early 97, somewhere in there.
God, we're old.
I know.
Doesn't feel like that long ago, of course, but
not at all. Unbelievable. Your hair, dude. Here, let me go back to this. Your hair was just amazing. Your hair was amazing, brother. I mean,
I was like Geddy Lee with
look at this.
None of the success.
That is awesome. No, man. I mean, I look like a Goomba over here. Old Kurt's the only one that looks like, I like things.
He was so normal. That was the problem, right? It was good and bad. Normal man. That was a fun couple of years, man. That was something else. You're all grown up now, though. It's weird.
I know. I got so much gray in the beard. It's crazy. What I love.
How many stories can I? Hey, how many stories can we tell about those days?
Oh my gosh!
About you.
All right. You gotta tell about the. Oh my god! I'm gonna cry here. It's so funny. You gotta talk about the Gremlins. I mean, that was weird.
Yeah, probably. So it's fun to frame this, but we were pretty much, as most bands are, it was kind of the usual setup in terms of the character that made up each member of the band. So in most bands, the guitar player is kind of the guy that keeps things organized. He's, the lead singer is always very extroverted, a little wild and crazy. The drummer is, you got to put a leash on them or they wander away. That's exactly what Sean was, the other Sean. And then the bass player is the quiet, methodical, sort of poetic guy, or whatever you want to call him. So keeping you guys all corralled was sort of my job, and keeping things from, completely falling apart, from you and Kurt killing each other and Sean wandering away was what I did. And so
I'm surprised they're not more gray.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of gray under here, but that's why I got hiding it today. At least I still have hair. That's the good part.
There you go.
So we had it was a CD release party. So we recorded the album. We did all that fun stuff. We went through that whole thing, and that party that almost didn't happen because you and Kurt were fighting and he was not going to show up that night. And we had arranged this whole event. There was a club called Limelight in Toronto. I don't know if it's probably still there. It's probably changed names 95 times since. So we do this release party. We have the whole night going on. I'm thoroughly distracted trying to keep things organized, getting the sound system set up, and Sean had wandered off again, and keeping him on track, and you were off doing something. And so we go through this whole night. We play the show. It's pretty good. Everything turned out okay. We're driving home, and we packed as much stuff as we could into your little Suzuki Swift. there must have been guitars hanging out the back windows and stuff like that. But so we're driving home, and it's about 2 a.m. And throughout the course of that night, I don't quite know what you got into, but there was a thing or two. It wasn't just a pint.
I think it was a little bit more than a pint. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're driving home. It's 2:30 something in the morning. There's not a thing on the road but us and your little Swift just boogieing home, heading north out of Toronto. All of a sudden, you're in the middle lane, slams on the brakes, goes from doing 60 miles an hour to 0 about as quickly as that little car could stop. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? You don't say a word, and you just like your hands go off the steering wheel. Like, Sean, what are you doing? I'm sitting beside you. You all right? He goes, there's gremlins on the road. What? I look at Sean, there's nothing on the road. Goes, I can see gremlins.
It was so funny because I didn't remember that until you mentioned that story back to me. I'm like, oh no, yeah. I did do that. I did.
Completely exhausted from that night, and here we are sitting in the middle of a major highway in north of Toronto, stopped dead in the road in this Chinese Suzuki Swift. You sitting there thinking there's little green men running in front of your car. And I don't know how long it took me to talk you into, continuing on. It was a couple of minutes, I think, or at least it felt like it. But eventually we continued on and got us all home somehow.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I mean, when I think about half the stuff that I did with that band, with you guys, like there was a show that was going to happen in Western University? And it was in the middle of a major snowstorm. And I'm like, let's go. We did. Freaking moron. Oh my gosh.
We were so desperate to get anywhere to play that it was like, we got to go through with this. I don't remember what I was thinking that day either, but we went ahead with it.
We did.
Yeah. Heading out to like Westerns in London, Ontario. And when Ontario gets hit with snow, they kind of get double what everybody else does. So that was a fun trip too.
That was terrible. That was terrible. Oh my gosh. Ian, I'm telling you. Yeah. That's oh my gosh. I'm very every now and then when I listen to the album, and that's literally every now and then, like every 3 or 4 years it'll pop up on the playlist, listen to a song here or there. And I'm really impressed what we did, and and it impressed me so much I wanted to use it as our intro song for this podcast because it's just the riffs. So I remember coming up with the intro riff, but you completed it with that wonderful guitar lick that you put over top of it there at the end. And I'm like, yeah, that's what it was missing.
Yeah, that was a great tune. I mean, I wish we had the technology back then you do today to promote that kind of stuff. It would have, I think it would have, had some legs to it. But hey, maybe we're still superstars and are only in our own minds. Who knows? But
oh man, I'm constantly, I'm still playing in front of arenas.
Yeah, come on, not the 8 people that we played in front of that are.
Oh my gosh! Come on, man. Yikes! Oh man! So here we are. We're going to be talking a little hockey, and we're both super out of touch. We're our Blue Jays, I guess. I don't know. We're 500.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, but can you imagine? Were you expecting that news yesterday that hit about Roberto Alomar?
Oh, that was a gut punch. Like, I mean, he was a hero growing up. Like, I was my mid-teens when the Blue Jays won those 2 World Series, and he was such a big part of that. And yeah, to hear that news was just, I mean,
it doesn't surprise me.
No,
it doesn't surprise me because it's just like, he was a big enough superstar. You knew that, he spat in an umpire. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it doesn't surprise me. But at the same hand, it's like, yeah, I felt the exact same way. Like, this guy helped us win a World Series twice. It's like,
yeah, like number 12 was whenever I played ball, which wasn't a whole lot as a kid, but I mean, that was always my number. I always wanted to be, it was him or Halladay, right? That was, Roy Halladay was later on in life, but yeah, like he was the guy, although, Joe Carter hit the big home run that won it, but Alomar was probably more critical to what the Jays did winning those series, especially against Oakland.
Yeah, because the both of them came over with that same trade from San Diego, Joe Carter and Roberto Alomar for, what was it, Manny Fernandez?
Fred McGriff and Tony Fernandez.
Tony Fernandez, that's it. Fred McGriff and Tony Fernandez. That is it. Yeah.
I remember being really upset as a kid when that trade happened because both Tony and Fred were kind of fan favorites. Everyone loved them. And when that deal went down, like, Alomar, who?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
I remember that too.
Yeah.
But Tony Fernandez ended up coming back the next season, right? He came back the next season, I think, the 93.
Yeah, they did. They brought him. So he was part of the 93 World Series.
Yeah.
He wasn't there for 92, right? But 93.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was pretty wild news yesterday. Like the level of excellence, as they call it in Toronto, they're taking his name off.
It's got to be pretty serious, Ian. If you think the Toronto, the organization is doing all this, it's not just smoke. I think it's actual proof in there.
Yeah, well, I guess they MLB conducted a huge investigation, and they've come out of this saying, "Yep, he will no longer be part of anything we have to do with baseball, or he had to do with it." I guess because he was doing a lot of stuff in Puerto Rico. For MLB, and then the Blue Jays came out right after and said, "Yep, same thing. That's that." So yeah, I mean, cancel culture is a thing these days, but I don't think they would do that without it being pretty legit. So I'm sure it'll start coming out what actually happened. But it's probably not good.
Does it make you wonder, like with Roberto Alomar, they dropped him like a hot potato like that, but Deshaun Watson out there in Houston is still like employed technically at the moment. Until, of course, the court cases go through and everything. It's interesting because, I mean, those allegations are pretty heinous when you hear them. It's like,
I guess I only hope with those, and maybe I don't know a lot about the Deshaun Watson situation. I've heard a little bit about it, but at least if it happens, they do it after they've determined whatever has gone down was serious enough to make this call versus just reacting to an accusation or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Like in any court case, we want to be, innocent until proven guilty. But if they find out, it's truly something pretty bad, as it sounds like it probably was here, that they wait till it's, they figure out what it is, even if it never becomes public. It was, worthy of something like this because it's, it's a big deal.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. It was a sad day yesterday for sure. Yeah.
It was.
But at the same hand, if it's true, I'm glad they're doing it. So.
Oh yeah. If the guy is a slime ball, in his personal time, then he deserves it. So
yeah, it's
absolutely sad, but true.
Sad but true.
Yeah.
Nice Metallica song too. You have no idea how, like, I'm so protective of my Clippers when I'm on board because it's like, what are you using the Clippers for?
Oh, you can't share Clippers.
No. No.
I don't share. I don't have a real problem sharing a lot of things. That's one.
Gross.
I'll share. I won't share a toothbrush, and I won't share Clippers.
Well, toothbrush, I mean, yeah. Unless my wife, I've mistaken her toothbrush a couple of times.
Yeah, it's a little bit different though, right? Because you actually stick your tongue in her mouth, so it's not.
I know. Girlfriends, I wouldn't even do it though. Back in the day, it was like grossed out. Ugh.
Give you a cream pie before I share a toothbrush with you.
Oh my goodness.
Happy Mother's Day.
Like all I kept thinking about, I was just actually thinking, some of because like my first hockey game I went to was with my dad in the old Maple Leaf Gardens, but the most hockey games I went to was with you.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, because your dad used to get part of a season ticket.
Yeah,
he was like
sure.
a quarter or a half of a season ticket holder there for the Leafs.
Yeah, quarter. Yeah, so you got about 10 to 11 games a year. Yeah, plus playoffs.
There was those years where we would go to 2 games. It felt like you and I would end up going to 2 games a year, and I was just ecstatic to be able to go there. And I remember we went both Maple Leaf Gardens and the not even the ACC in the Scotiabank Center as well. As a matter of fact, my last game was with you in the Scotiabank Center. It was called ACC. And I remembered, man, this was so high tech back then, like this is the way to watch hockey games.
But Maple Leaf Gardens was the place, man.
So much.
We were like third last row from the back wall seats. Like they were nosebleeders, and
it didn't even matter.
No, it didn't. But they were tiny little seats. Like everyone must have been 5'2" when they built the place, because they were little, like built for half a human. So you're shoulder to shoulder with everyone back there. And we were always, back there would be all the drunk dudes that would be, just making crazy noise. It was awesome. And I remember my dad, when my first game there, they could still smoke in the back row. And then the 2 things I remember as a kid from that whole era was the smoking in the back row, or it was in the hallways when you'd go down for intermission, and the molten lava hot nacho cheese sauce, because that was my favorite thing to get as a kid. Like those two smells are what I remember of the place. And then they kicked all the smokers. They weren't allowed to smoke in their seats anymore. They had to smoke in the hallway. And then they kicked them into the staircase. So they'd all be lined up down the staircase. And as a kid, I had asthma. So I had to hold my breath walking through, not die.
Oh, my God.
When we were kids and you had allergies, you were on your own. It was a different time now. They actually pay attention to you. But back then, it was like,
your brother, I'm not going to mention his name unless you want to mention it. But he was the first kid I ever met with a peanut allergy. I never heard of that until I met your brother. And I'm like,
yeah, that was me.
No, you didn't have it. I thought, no, you didn't. Did you? No, you didn't.
Yep.
Ian, then I'm getting messed up. I'm getting old, buddy.
No, he didn't have any. I was the one who had that.
You were the one with the peanut allergy? Oh, man. That would be horrible.
Oh, yeah. It's not serious. Like, it's not like, some people can't walk in a room without them. But,
yeah,
no, I got that too. Most of them have kind of subsided over the years, but that one's still there. I mean,
all right.
Yeah.
So before we progress on to a couple of, because I want to get in some Leaf talk,
Sure.
Considering, the amount of games that we watch, I still figured that you would be an avid Maple Leafs fan, have some fingers on the pulse of that there. But I did want to ask you, what was your earliest song in a sporting event that made you, like, you synonymously look at that song and think, this game, this sport?
Yeah, I was trying to think of one. I couldn't come up with anything super profound other than, like, I don't know. For a while, the Leafs were using Thunderstruck.
Oh, Thunderstruck.
It was at whatever point, and my memory's fading like all of ours are, but when that came out, they used that as their intro song when they hit the ice at some point, and that one always kind of stuck with me. But the Hall & Oates song they use as the goal song now. There were there's fans that love it and there's fans that hate it. There was a whole bunch that were tweeting at Brendan Shanahan, who's the president of the Leafs now, about wanting him to change it. And he came out at the beginning of this year and basically said, "Suck it, we're not changing it." Twitter, like, no, not going anywhere. Too bad. So, I mean, I'm fine with it, but I could think of, I don't know, Thunderstruck was one.
Yeah.
I don't know, all the cliches like Eye of the Tiger and stuff like that, I guess.
Oh, Rocky twice. Yeah. So that's what Brad said. His favorite was Rocky. Like the first song that ever influenced him in anything was the Rocky theme song. And I guess I'm the only freaking nerd here because it was Queen "We Are the Champions," because that was when the Islanders first won their first of 4 cups, and they played that, and I'm like, I was so young, right? I was 7. I'm there going, and don't forget, I was 7. Right. I was only introduced to country and Western music thanks to my dad. So that's all it was played was country and Western music everywhere. So I didn't even know who Michael Jackson was. I didn't know any other artists. I only knew George Jones and Tammy Wynette and everything like that, right?
Oh, my God.
They're going, how in the world did they write this song just for the New York Islanders that we are the champions? This is so awesome. Clueless. Clueless. Yeah. Clueless. I'm just telling you. It wasn't until I went into like grade 5 I found out who Michael Jackson was. I'm like, oh, there's a whole wide world of music.
Oh, man. Oh, there's.
Yeah, I didn't say anything while you were gone, but that's super crazy.
What, my pee?
Yeah, you had to pee for like 30 minutes in.
It's annoying when you have an older partner.
This is the first time it's happened, so I feel like you just weren't.
What do you think this year? Now, Nick Foligno coming over to the Leafs this year.
Mm-hmm.
We had to wait because of COVID. We had to wait like a week or something like that for him to actually get in there. But since he's been in that uniform, it's been a whole different Maple Leafs club. We won 4 in a row after dropping 6. Coming off of a 9-win streak. I think we're peaking now at the right levels, and if Freddie Anderson comes in healthy, watch out.
Yeah, for sure. No, Foligno seemed to add. It's like, they always used to say it about why hockey teams had enforcers, and when you have a tough guy, and they're kind of long gone now, but everyone on the team grows a couple of inches, right? They all play a little bit more confident hockey, and he's by no means a enforcer, but he just brought a dimension that they needed, and they had it. Zach Hyman's a similar player in what he brings, but Foligno just has a little bit of an extra edge or whatever it was. And
he's just that sandpaper, like he's just like sandpaper, like him and who's the center that we ended up getting from Columbus there as well.
Yeah, I've heard his name 20 times this week, and I can't remember what it was. I'll keep on it. Is Riley Nash?
Riley Nash, that's it. Riley Nash. Like, he's another sandpapery guy, these guys are just sandpaper. And you noticed that last year in the postseason when we had to go up against Columbus.
Yeah, we got ground in the ground. Yeah, and there was even a quote from Foligno himself from a couple of years ago, and he said the Maple Leafs were the easiest team to play because they didn't want to play in their own zone below the red line. Like they just ground them in. They didn't want to play physical hockey. We had so little of it in the last few years. So the guys they've added, and Foligno at the top of that list, is the right pieces to complement what they already had in place.
So Dumas, everybody's been so hard on Dumas, right? Like Dumas was brought into the Leafs, I want to say almost a decade ago as the analytics guy. And then once Lou Lamoriello left and went to the Islanders, he ended up taking over the GM. And then everybody has been critical of the man because, he was using analytics in order to build the team. But he had when you really look at it, it was a great, tic-tac-toe team. Great finesse. But I think he's starting to realize that there's some other qualities that you cannot look at in your analytics that's going to quantify your playoff position. And with the additions of Wade Simmons, Joe Thornton, Nick Foligno, Riley Nash, even that defenseman
Bogosian.
they ended up picking. Yeah, like they become now a little bit more sandpapery. So to mix in with that finesse, because let's face it, your first two lines are going to be deadly, deadly, deadly. And then those last two lines are going to be there just to shut you down.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to have a fourth line that has legends like Spezza and Thornton on them. I mean, Thornton's kind of he hadn't been doing much, but the last few games, and it was right around when Foligno showed up, but he's kind of woken up and he's getting to be a bit of an ornery bear out there. And
let's face it, he's getting the 700,000 not for scoring. I think he's just there for a locker room presence, like.
Yeah, well, they needed that, right? Like Tavares is, he was the captain of the Islanders forever. I mean, but he's more of a quiet, unassuming type of captain. Like he's, listening to him talk is like warm milk, right? He's not the most exciting guy, and doesn't strike me as a guy who screams and yells in the room. But you get a guy like Kessel.
It was Phil Kessel 2.0, really, is what it was.
Just about, yeah. I mean, he's more of a on the ice, demonstrate leader type of player rather than.
It took him a while to get started, though. It took him a while to get started this season. Like he was slow out of the gates.
But he's very quietly had a very good season. It's just overshadowed by
under the radar, right?
It's like Austin Matthews goes out and scores these highlight reel goals that are ridiculous every game. But meanwhile, like Tavares will score these boring ones from 5 feet out in front of the net. And it's like, oh, hey, Tavares scored again. But did you see what matthews did? And everyone kind of forgets about it, which is, kind of a good thing, I guess, when you're a little under the radar. But I wasn't a critic of Dubas, but I was, we've been watching this team and been through enough heartbreak enough times to see and be concerned about what they were doing or not doing to the lineup, and seeing what they were missing and getting knocked out by Columbus in the, I guess, what did they call it?
The play-in
series.
Yeah.
And then technically the Leafs didn't make the playoffs last year. Like, this is what is going on, right?
And Montreal taking out Pittsburgh.
Like it was a weird, crazy, of course, year, and that whole shutdown with COVID and however many months it was, about 3 months before they finally resumed.
Yeah.
Like it was, you got to chalk some of that up.
You know what, Ian? But I'm going to tell you, I never heard such crazy talk out there. It's like, because we had no sports for that time period, for like a good time period, a good chunk when sports shut down and then started back up, right?
It was terrible. Yeah.
And then I never heard so many people that go, I don't need sports anymore. I don't need that anymore.
Really?
Give them a few months and all of a sudden they're like, I need it. I need it.
I was dying without it.
I was
bad choice of words during COVID.
So my co-host, like Brad watched every single game of the NFL.
Okay.
During this, when there was no sports, watched every single Seahawks game. I'm sorry, every single Seahawks game during the season.
Okay.
I'm there going like, oh my gosh.
Like everyone in history?
No, I think everyone for the season there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Including the postseason. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it was dull without sports. So when I came back, it was amazing. But that was a painful 5 games for the Leafs coming back into that play-in series.
A play-in series. I mean,
watching Columbus, Columbus had again, and the thing is that they did the same thing to Tampa. I think it was the year before. They beat them, and remember Tampa had that regular season
4 straight.
record,
yes,
and they destroyed them.
Like they were nothing.
Yeah, and everyone, Toronto's got to earn it, but everyone around the team seems to say that after that, they said, okay, this year we're not going to let that happen. Both management and players said we're not going to get run over this time by a team like that. With the players they have, it was just a matter of bringing in the right guys around them and guys like Foligno, because you can't expect Austin Matthews to go out there and start pounding guys, and you don't need him to, but you need a guy to go in the corners and get him the puck, and you need guys to be defensively tough when things crank up in the playoffs. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we're starting to see it out of them. So as most, you know, Leaf fans of our generation and older, we're cautiously optimistic. I have no blind faith anymore because
I guess I'm the last of them, Ian. I put it out on Facebook that we're going to win, and then it sometimes doesn't.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh, buddy. After that 2013 game, I was talking to my buddy Reed, and I put it out there on Facebook. Yeah, we got you, because it was Game 7. We came back, we're ahead, and I'm like, oh man, we got you.
Right.
And the most epic failure, the most epic breakdown I've ever seen in an NHL game happened. And I was like, oh God.
Oh, that was agony, man.
That was heartbreak, buddy. Like,
I don't even remember a lot of the details of those games because I think I just drank my sorrows away afterwards until I couldn't think of anything, couldn't remember a thing because it was terrible. And like that Columbus team, they beat up on Tampa the year before. They beat up on Toronto. Like the talent they lost, like guys like Panarin, and they're still out there killing giants, and it was crazy. But
it was unreal. But 2013, that was the first year that we made the playoffs in such a long time, and we played Boston, dirty old freaking Boston.
Of course. Yeah.
Oh man, I hate Marchand. If Brad Marchand would have become a Leaf, though, I think I would buy his jersey, but I hate him.
Oh, without a doubt. Yes.
Yeah.
He's an easy guy to hate, but if he's on your team, you're going to love him. Like, you can't. He's a pretty amazing player, but God, we hate him in Toronto. We hate all of Boston because it's not out of us too many times.
That's exactly it. And the worst part is, like, when I was down in Boston, I was wearing my Leafs jersey. I thought I was going to get some sort of flack, but people just felt sorry for me. It was just
they felt pity. Yeah. They could. They should. So I'm really happy that we don't have to worry about them till at least the semifinals if we make it that far. But
I think
the way the Canadian,
I think we have a good chance.
Set up,
like
they have no excuse not to.
The Leafs have to make it to the conference finals for it to be a successful season this season.
Oh,
yeah.
If they don't blow through the Canadian division in the playoffs, it will be epic failure.
Now, having said that,
heads will roll. The fans will lose their minds.
Oh yeah. Well, we know a certain fan that I always see his posts, man, and I'm just like, he is so critical of calling down the Leafs, but yet he's also the biggest Leaf fan. It's so like, dude, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways. You can't be calling down management and then also going, I love the Leafs. It's like you can't do that.
We are a little bit of a deranged bunch from the number of years of punishment. It's like getting hit in the head with a baseball bat and going back for more every year. The way it is,
we don't like it, but we keep coming back.
You can't. It's life as a sports fan, right? The only thing worse would be like a Cleveland Browns fan. Like, my God, I don't know how those fans handle that. Like,
I know.
It's bad enough.
Especially with them losing their team. They lost their team as well for a moment, and then it's like...
Yeah, and then it came back.
Yeah.
There it is. I mean, I know some Leaf fans who are Cleveland Browns fans, and I look at them and think, how are you not in an institution? Because that's a level of punishment I can't.
You used to be a Niners fan, right? You used to be a Niners fan?
Yeah, I still am. I'm not the biggest football guy, but the 49ers are kind of my team.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Brad and you would not get along. You probably would, but I mean, as far as football allegiances, he probably would hate your pick, but he's a Seahawks fan.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. But I'm a Bills fan, and it's like, I mean, that's So you, I was just gonna say, it's like you just made my existence right there. It was.
Hey, there's the guitar that I played that riff on, by the way. Hanging on the wall right there.
The Music Man, eh?
That's the one I built. That's the one I built.
Gosh. Ian. Yes, I do. What an awesome guitar, dude.
There's one of the other ones, the unfinished one.
Oh my god.
I still haven't put strings on it. It's about 25 years old. It's never had a set of strings on it. And the OG, this was the
Look at that
original
thing.
one that I built.
Oh my gosh.
So
Wow.
beside the dog bed. It sits beside a dog bed now. That's, the kind of perspective gets. But hey.
That is cool. That is cool.
Yeah. So they're relics that hang on the wall now. They're not, they don't get a lot of use anymore, but what were we talking about?
Leafs Nation. I did want to,
The insanity that is.
Yeah, I did want to jump over quickly
Mhm.
because I had a two-part question. Okay, so I'm going to ask the first one. The code. So the Canucks, Mr. Edler takes out Zach Hyman. Yeah, he got suspended. I understand that. But you're coming back to play the exact same team. People got upset in Vancouver that Wade Simmons walked over there and said, "You're going to take a licking. You're going to take it."
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, Mr. Edler, he fought nobody. And Wade Simmons had 71 fights. This is not fair. This is not fair. But all I'm thinking is like, you know what? Shut your stupid pie hole. Your stupid ass player knew what he was doing with putting his knee out there. That's why the Kasparaitis brothers were the most hated brothers in all of hockey, because that's what they did, was just knee-to-knee contact. So to me, it's like, stop your crying. Wade Simmons did what he was supposed to do, stand up for his teammate, and you do not get to pick the player you get to fight in order for a retribution. You fight the player who comes up to you, and that is retribution. Am I wrong?
Exactly. Not at all. Sucks to be you, but if you throw your knee out like that, you're going to pay the price, man. And that's like it or not, there's still a code in hockey, and there should be, because if there wasn't, there'd be guys kneeing guys all over the place. You got to answer the bell if you do, whether you've had a million fights in your career or zero. It's like, suck it. You took out one of our, no, Zach Hyman is not a superstar, but he's a very important player to the Leafs going forward.
Exactly.
You look at any team that wins in the playoffs, it's guys like him that show up in big games and score big goals. So it looks like he's going to be back, which is good. God knows he played on a torn ACL in the playoffs last year.
That's right.
Before. So like, the guy will play through anything, but if they lost him, that's a huge, huge blow. So yeah, you answer the bell in hockey if you need a guy like that. You should. You could take your lumps. Hey, the guy, to his credit, he dropped the gloves with Simmons. He said, all right, I don't want it. I'm sure he didn't want to do it, but he did.
Oh, I know he didn't want to do it. I'm sure he was there mumbling. But yeah, to his credit, he did. But the stupid knucklehead fans, and I'm sorry, knuckleheads, first off, and listen, one of my really good friends, one of my mentors, he's a knucklehead fan, but you got to agree with me on this one. I'm sorry. You don't get to pick who you fight. You don't get to do that.
No.
You don't get it. And if it's 250-pound Wade Simmons coming down you, Mr. Edler, you answer the call. Jeez.
That's right.
Cry babies.
Oh, my God. I saw there's tweets coming out of their media are some of the biggest homers on the planet. Like, their sports media. They, we always say this in Toronto. It's like half the media is like, do you hate the Leafs? Because the way you talk about them, you want the bad stuff to happen. Like, we got these idiots like Steve Simmons, and there's a whole bunch of jackass media here, and there's some good ones too. But out there, it's like the biggest fans of the Vancouver Canucks are the media, and the second biggest fans are the regular fans. So these guys are losing their minds on sports radio talking about this code and how big, bad, mean Wayne Simmons beat up poor innocent Edler, who was just minding his own business, of course, right? He didn't stick his knee out. Oh, no, that was an accident. How that never happened. Just freaking out. And all of a sudden, the Leafs, who have been like one of the softest teams on the planet for the last 5 years or more, are they calling them the Bay Street Bullies again.
Bay Street Bullies. Oh, my gosh.
So it's pretty pathetic to see them complaining and whining about it. Like, hey, suck it.
Thank you. Suck it. Exactly. I'm so sick of it. I'm sorry. You know what? Ulf and Shell Samuelson were hated. Anybody who does that knee-to-knee freaking hit, I'm sorry. You deserve what you get.
Remember, you deserve it. Like Darius Kasparaitis, he was pretty notorious for that. Claude Lemieux. Oh man, there were some
some gems. You're bringing up some gems here.
Yeah.
All right.
That was the era, the Bay Street Bully era for the Leafs was the Gary Roberts, Shane Corson, Di Domi, Darcy Tucker, et cetera, on that team. And they were always like first or second in penalty minutes. And we'd have those wars with like the Philadelphia
Flyers. Yeah.
And even like the rivalry was the Toronto-Ottawa one. And remember like Darcy Tucker going into the bench, the Ottawa bench, trying to fight Chris Neal.
Yep, I do.
So apparently they're back because we have a couple of guys who'll drop the gloves now.
Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Man, I'll never forget Kadri with a whole bunch of Joe Thornton beard when Thornton was on San Jose. Do you remember that? Yeah. A whole bunch of Joe Thornton
we've gone through. Yeah. That's what we've gone through. Is our toughest guy on the team was Kadri for fighting a guy like Joe Thornton. Now we have a guy like Simmons who will, do the job, and we're the toughest team in the league apparently.
Yeah, whatever. You know what? Yep. Vancouver can suck it. Suck it, Vancouver. All right, I've spent enough time on Vancouver. They're not even making the postseason. Those jokers.
They're lower than Ottawa in the standings, by the way. Too. They're 1 point behind them. So enjoy that.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, it's looking like it's going to be Montreal. If Montreal can win some games, I don't know, but they won last night.
Okay.
They gotta keep winning. How nervous are you over Toronto-Montreal series to start off the playoffs?
I don't want to be that overconfident fan, but not at all. Not with the way Montreal is kind of floundering right now. I mean, it's pretty funny, and we take a lot of shots at them because early on in the season when they came out of the gates gone blazing, and all these pundits were calling them, the juggernaut team. These guys look like the real deal.
It was them and the Senators. The Senators won their first game. It was like, the Senators are making the postseason this year.
Yeah. I see a lot of people taking heat on Twitter, where I do spend a lot of my time yakking about hockey, showing people who predicted that Montreal was going to be first. It's going to be Montreal, Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver would be the top four, and Toronto was going to somehow miss the playoffs. And, it's like completely upside down now. But no, I mean, Carey Price seems to have vanished. I guess he's injured or whatever's going on with him. He's not 100%.
No.
I would love for them to face. I'd rather see them face Montreal than Calgary, to be honest, because Flames,
good point.
The Flames started to turn it on there. They've kind of fallen back to being crap again. But once the coach came in, the new coach Sutter, he got them going a bit. I thought if they could play the hockey he likes to play, that could be dangerous.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's going to be Montreal. Since the first time Toronto-Montreal have faced off in the playoffs since the late 70s. Like
yes.
79.
And that's what I said, is like this COVID, if anything, has given us this great gift of a Montreal-Toronto playoff series. Yeah. It's a great gift.
If nothing else, it'll be cool to see. But Toronto should steamroll them.
I think so too. But having said that, playoffs is a whole different season,
Oh, and we know the Leafs well enough to know they never do anything the easy way. So I'm sure it'll be an adventure. But I mean,
we've been watching Leafs hockey long enough. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah. I don't get very overconfident anymore, that's for sure. But that's probably the most confidence I've shown is talking about that series specifically. But I mean, when your number one center is Matthew Dano, I'm not sure you're quite ready for primetime playoffs. But they did take down Pittsburgh last year, so
that's exactly it. That's what I was saying. Like, they took down Pittsburgh last year. It's just a little scary to think that, but you were about to go up. Yeah,
the Pens were a bit of a tire fire last year too. They were. Something was wrong there, and so they're looking pretty good this year. But so I think it's just situational type thing. And again, it was such an upside down playoff last year. At least at that play-in round or whatever, it was so weird. But it was random. But the Leafs have no excuse barring major injury, which still really is an excuse to just blaze through that North Division and be ready for whoever they end up.
Edmonton's the only team I'm scared of. I got to be honest with
bit.
you. Yeah, Edmonton's the only team I'm terrified of because they got firepower. You know what I mean? Like they got firepower.
McDavid is just again on another level this year. He's terrifying to watch, but yet for whatever reason, the Leafs have been able to kind of keep him in check as better than anyone else. So, I mean, their big problem is goaltending.
Yeah,
they don't have. Mike Smith is about 107 years old now, and beyond him, it's a little sketch, and their depth isn't great. But
no, it isn't.
But like McDavid could do damage on his own.
Nervous though because it's either the Capitals or the Islanders who I'm thinking we're going to face in the conference finals, and if we win that, I think it's Colorado in the finals, and that's all she wrote.
well, yeah, you never know though, right? You never know.
That's it.
But look at Colorado. Was it last year? They went through 3-4 goalies when Michael Hutchinson.
Michael Hutchinson, that's right.
Who's now our fourth string goalie. Right. That dude just manages to keep. He's a cat with 9 lives.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If they had Grubauer rolling, I'm sure they probably would have made it to the finals last year. But
easily, yeah.
Oh, it's between. Yeah, it'd be tough to beat Washington, Tampa, Colorado. However, that all shakes out in the end.
I'm hoping that Tampa and Florida just beat themselves up. They just beat themselves up in that playoff round. There is what I'm hoping for. But and Carolina is
be a thing.
Yeah, the Islanders, they're good. It's scary. It's scary all the way across. Any team that's making the postseason, I already said it. Any team that's making the postseason has a right to be there this year. It's that's how good those teams are.
Yeah, no, it's there's a lot of good teams. So, but like you said, hopefully some of those big ones beat the crap out of each other, and that's you never know once you get there. Round 3, 4, who's left standing, right?
Yeah. So. Ian, I am so happy you took some time out there here for us today. Hey, listen, so I joined the military. Ian, because he was smart, he ended up becoming a people person. And he sells houses for a living, and he sells houses in Ontario. So he's doing well. You want to give a drop out just on here? Your information just for any sort of clientele, if you're looking at all, or anything like that. If anybody's looking for a realtor.
Yeah, we work in kind of anywhere West Toronto, call it west of Yonge Street. So anyone local will know where that is. All that area, all the way out to Guelph, Kitchener, Waterloo, Orangeville, all down Lake Ontario, all across the Golden Horseshoe type thing. I work for, I'm part of a team. It's called the Hey Ray team because my boss's name is Ray, and that's how it got started. So you can go to heyray.ca and find my information. Find us up on the website. It's been a crazy year. It's been a wild run. It doesn't seem like it's going to slow down anytime soon. But all your real estate needs.
And the thing is that I would actually be using Ian. Well, probably not. Ian would probably he would probably refuse me because I'm moving to Toronto this year, but I'm going to be renting. I think Ian would be like, this isn't worth my while. But I'm going to be there looking around. But listen, anybody out there that needs real estate needs, Ian is definitely more than capable. I think you're in great hands if you end up going in there with him as well. So, Ian, buddy, you have no idea.
Yeah.
You have no idea how happy I am you came onto the show. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. It was fun.
I'd like to have you on as a regular at some point, like every now and then popping on. I hope that.
Sure, if I didn't ruin the show, I'd be happy to come back.
I don't think you did. I think you're a natural.
Well, I want to get on with, with your partner because I want us to start telling a few more Sean stories that are involved. But
we could do it. He ended up getting some phenomenal tickets to Vegas, so he was like cool enough to come on yesterday. And so basically he's gone there. Yeah.
Nice. Lucky Americans who get to travel a bit.
I'm telling you, they're walking around maskless.
I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but we'll leave that one for another conversation. But
true enough.
We're all locked down up here in Ontario again. No comment on how that all came about, but one of these days we'll get to travel, and Vegas is one of my favorite places to go. So I'm envious.
I've never been.
No.
So I would like to go there before I get too old.
Well, at any age, apparently, there you can strap on the Speedo and hang out at the hotel pool.
On that note, Ian, thank you so much.
All right, man.
Are the Falcons going to be all in with Matt Ryan this year?
It looks that way.
They're going to give
why else would you get a tight end?
Julio Jones, and then Kyle Pitts, and just let him throw the ball.
Yeah. I figured
they must think he's got 1 year left.
1 year left. That's exactly what I was just saying. It's like, this is it. They're all in with him.
It's fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Well, you missed your chance on a great quarterback selection. So,
no, maybe. I mean, they know something we don't.
Well, Michael Pitts, you were right that he was going to go that early. Kyle Pitts,
yeah.
You were right. He was going to go that early. He just went one down below.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's
missed
like
it by one.
Yeah,
but I called Mac Jones early though.
You did,
but
and that one
trade up.
But that took me by surprise. Trey Lance, number 3.
For everyone listening, I picked Mac Jones to go to the Patriots after the 4th pick in the draft.
You did, though. You did.
So, anyway.
Pat yourself on the back there, Barry Horowitz. Very good.
At least
very
that's
well
how it works.
done.
Okay, friends. Well, that'll do it for this week's episode. Shout out to
Wait a second.
What?
No, I got one question before you just sign off like that.
Wife's question of the week.
No, I have one question for you. A little one-on-one.
Never mind.
Come
Sorry,
on.
belay my last, friends. Let's get it.
All right. I need to know from you.
Yeah.
What song was your first song that inspired any sort of emotion in a sporting event for you?
It was the theme to Rocky.
Really, eh?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That was the first one.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Never seen it and running on it. Just pretend to be that's who it was.
Wow. I like
that. What about you?
For me, it was "We Are the Champions" by Queen because it was the first time I watched the New York Islanders. It was the first time I ever watched hockey with my dad. I was 7, watching the Stanley Cup playoffs, and it was "We Are the Champions" after they won their first 4 Stanley Cup championships. They're the Islanders, and it was like magical.
Yeah,
it's like they wrote this song just for them.
Sammy, come on, let's talk about this because Sean feels like Queen's a better version than Rocky. So, whatever.
I didn't say that.
We alluded to.
I guess that does it for this week.
Does it?
Oh yeah, no more surprises. We're done.
No more surprises. Okay.
None.
Sounds good. I will ask you this. This is the one question I need to know. Do you have a preference? Or I guess it's a 2-part question. Do you put hot sauce on your pizza?
No, I do not.
Listen, you are messing up with your life.
First off, it was ketchup on the hot dog, and now it's hot sauce on the pizza.
Whoa. Are you trying to... Don't pin me into the ketchup on the hot dog stance. That's not...
No, I'm not. You were against me with that. I said put ketchup on the hot dog. I know. You're a mustard man.
Jeez, Louise. Listen, man. You got Tapatio is the best. Or a little sriracha.
And what kind of pizza?
Just drizzle it on an all-meat pizza or a pepperoni pizza. Really, any kind of pizza. There's not a bad pizza to drizzle hot sauce over.
I can see this being satisfying.
It's so good. You'll never go back.
I might try this.
Get you
what
a
about
slice.
Frank's Red Hot?
Oh, yeah. Frank's is good.
Yeah. I'm going to have to give that a try.
Yeah, you should. Or whatever your favorite pizza place is up there in Halifax. Have them bring it to you. Put a little Frank's on there. Quote the lady.
I'm gonna have to try this and then get back to you on this one here,
I
Brad.
need to
It
know the
sounds
answer.
actually, yeah.
I need to know the answer.
Man, it sounds very appetizing. Like if I didn't eat supper earlier today, I'd probably be on the phone right now trying to order a
We
pizza.
both know that's not slowing you down.
Come on, man.
Listen, it ain't slowing me down. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh my God.
I've recently been harassed by my wife at 7:00 by asking if I could order, if she wanted any pizza. She was like, "You're ordering pizza?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "It's Tuesday." I was like, "Okay." She's like, "We just had dinner." I'm like, "And?" It's always a good time for pizza. That's why I'm in shape, not in shape. All right, friends. Until next time, be good. Oh, hi, Daisy. Be good at it.
You've listened to the podcast, but now it's time to visit us in our virtual sports bar. Get all of our info at GuysBeerSports.com, where you can find all the ways to connect with us. Watch for live conversations with Brad and Sean that happen throughout the week, and join in with your favorite local beer. You can share your thoughts in the conversation comments with your own uploaded videos, or even join us as a guest live commentator. The GBS Virtual Sports Bar is open for business. Come on in, boys and girls.